What is going on, guys? Hey, I want to come back to you, and I wanted to bring you a video about Kerry Kennedy. Now, Kerry Kennedy is the sister of RFK Jr., and she got on CNN and blasted her brother for endorsing Trump. I mean, again, you don't do that kind of stuff. You don't do that. But again, she had her information all wrong. Or, again, she had it all wrong on purpose because she endorses or stands behind the pharmaceutical industry. But then she got on CNN where Caitlin Collins, the nastiest, most arrogant woman on CNN, watch this.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Donald Trump have officially joined forces. You saw them on stage as Kennedy endorsed Donald Trump after suspending his own presidential run. Based on what he said earlier, it appears he's still hopeful that a path to the White House remains possible.
I want everyone to know that I am not terminating my campaign. I am simply suspending it and not ending it. My name will remain on the ballot in most states. I encourage you to vote for me. And if enough of you do vote for me, and neither of the major party candidates win 270 votes, I could conceivably still end up in the White House in a contingent election.
My source tonight is Kerry Kennedy, RFK Jr.'s sister and also a human rights activist. And it's great to have you here tonight. You responded to this earlier. You said that this was a betrayal of your father's legacy. Why do you think so?
Well, I think, if my father were alive today, he would detest almost everything Donald Trump represents. His lying, his selfishness, his rage, his cynicism, his hatred, his racism, his fascist sympathies, his deliberate misinformation about vaccines, his criminal felony convictions, his contempt for the poor and suffering, for ethics, for democracy, and for healing, and his cruel sneering at human rights for suffering people in America and around the world, which is the cause that so moved and motivated my father. So I'm outraged and disgusted by my brother's gaudy and obscene embrace of Donald Trump. I love my brother, but this is an outrage. And I completely disavow and separate and dissociate myself from him on this issue.
Number one, Trump never said anything racist. Number two, you guys repeat lies all the damn time. Again, you say things like, like the very fine people on both sides that Trump was talking about, the neo-Nazis. No, he wasn't. Not one bit. He was talking about the people that, that don't want the statues to be torn down. That's what he was talking about. There were very fine people on both sides of the debate. But again, you don't want to be honest about that. You don't want to be honest about it. Again, you like to push what you want to push. And also, the fact of the matter is, man, Trump has never been racist. Never. Never once. But again, you like to push that. Oh, my father would be very disappointed in RFK Jr. and his son. No, he wouldn't be. I guarantee you, he would be proud of his son. His son takes a stand against things that are going on that are evil, are truly evil. And again, Kerry, you lack the courage, the conviction to stand up and say anything. That's what the problem is. And that's why you truly don't understand it. Because you'd rather duck your head and cower.
Have you spoken to your brother lately?
No, I haven't. Bobby, I saw him a few weeks ago at my daughter Mariah's wedding. And but Bobby knows my view and my feelings very, very well.
That must be pretty difficult for you.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking because this is a time when there's so much at stake in this election. This is why almost every single person in my family is fighting so hard to reelect Kamala Harris and Coach Walz, because they've been champions of the values my family has fought for years. And Donald Trump is the polar opposite. He threatens the most basic freedoms that are core to who we are as Americans, for women to control their bodies, to live in communities safe from gun violence, which brought down Uncle Jack and Daddy, to love who you love, which impacts people in my family and people across our country and around the globe.
So what values does Kamala Harris have that you say your family would be behind? You know, said not locking up criminals that shoplift under $1,000. Is that it? It's gun violence, right? So again, you're for, locking up inner city youth that, that get out there and shoot each other. Because again, that's where the majority of gun violence comes from. Black inner city young Democrats. I mean, it's true. You just don't like it. So again, what do you stand behind Harris when she wants to let people out of jail, raise money to bail people out of jail, that they'll riot and burn down police stations during the Black Lives Matter riots? Is that right? What values? Again, women killing their own babies. I mean, again, you can, Trump and your brother, Trump does not want to get rid of abortion. He's bringing it back to the states. Let the states decide if they're going to do it. And again, we have to truly understand that is a republic. This is a republic. It goes back to individual states, and it should. And that's what they're doing. But again, you'd like to bend things whatever way you want to bend them. A true Democrat. Not your father's Democrat, but a Democrat that, again, a today's Democrat.
Yeah, you were just at the Democratic convention. Your other family member, Jack Schlossberg, was also there. He tweeted today that essentially what this showed was just that RFK Jr.'s vote was for sale. Is that how you view it, as your brother's vote is just, his endorsement's just for sale?
That's not the way I would put it. I think it's sad, and it's the sad ending to a long, sad story. And I think anybody who's been watching Bobby and his actions would draw the same conclusion. As I say, I love him, but I think that he's terribly, terribly misguided.
In a state like Arizona, where he was with Trump tonight, I mean, that was a state that was decided by such a small margin of votes. Are you worried that if Donald Trump does win in November, and you obviously would like a different outcome, are you worried that what happened today could in part be to blame?
Well, I'm not an expert on this, but I did speak to several pollsters when I was out at the DNC, and they all said the same thing, which was that Bobby's vote is of primarily people who are disaffected. So either they're people who would not vote at all for anyone else, or will vote for a third-party candidate, probably Jill Stein. So they're really, at this point, a few months ago, he was taking from Donald Trump and from Harris, but at this point, he's really not taking from anyone. He's just taking from people who otherwise probably won't vote. But I think it is important in Arizona and in so many other places across our country when you think about what the current administration with the Biden-Harris administration has accomplished. Wages are up, inflation is down, small businesses are booming, manufacturing jobs are coming back. They've capped the cost of insulin to $35 a month for those on Medicare, lowering prescription drug costs, student loan relief to nearly 4 million Americans, and the first bipartisan gun safety legislation in 30 years. So I think that this election matters. It matters for our economy. It matters for the heart of what it means to be an American. And it matters for basic bread and butter issues.
You know, again, people like her, they do nothing but lie. First of all, number one, I wanted to bring up how the Democrats lie over and over again about whatever. The whole thing about the insulin being at $35, that was Trump. That was not Biden-Harris. That was Trump. We have to understand that. Again, that's something they like to take credit for, but it was done before Biden became president. It didn't take place till afterwards, which is why he takes credit, but it was Trump, number one. And the economy? Yeah. The economy went down after COVID. I mean, again, small business went down after COVID. We saw the unemployment go up after COVID. Beforehand, it was a totally different story. Trump's economy was great until COVID. And we have to truly understand that. And again, the things being built up now, that's on Trump's coattails. We have to understand that. But again, they take credit for whatever because, again, they're Democrats. They steal. They truly steal. This is not RFK Sr.'s or JFK's Democrat. We're talking about a whole different. We're talking about a different party full of damn corruption. That's what this is. Again, they're bought and they're paid for. You know, RFK Jr. is not bought and paid for. The Democrat Party of today is bought and paid for. We truly have to understand by big business, by the pharmaceutical industry, they are bought and paid for. We've got to start understanding that. So again, the Biden-Harris administration, they've done nothing except make things worse, except keeping that southern border wide open. Because again, under Trump, we saw less than 500,000, half a million people come across that border in 2020. In 2021, almost 1.8 million came across the southern border. We truly have got to understand what's going on here. And again, what they do is they point their finger in the other direction. They don't want to solve a damn thing, and they don't. And again, right now, RFK Jr., he understands what's happening. And he understands, hey, there's no way in hell that I want to let my country get into the hands of Harris Walz. There's no way. Because again, that will spell the end of the country. We are hanging on by a thread now. And that will do us in. But guys, man, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks. You son of a